Hey guys, what's up? It's Sam with LivingCollegeStation.com, and it is finally Friday. Today I'm out here off of the very, very busy Texas Avenue, checking out What's the Buzz coffee shop. I have heard so many good things about this place. I cannot wait to go inside and see what's happening. Let's go take a look. Alright, so we're here today at What's the Buzz Coffee in College Station, and I am with the owner, Rodrigo Chavez. Rodrigo, thank you for joining us.
Thank
Man,
you.
What an interesting story that you have got. You came all the way from Guatemala, and now you have a coffee shop in the middle of College Station. How on earth did that happen?
As bad as it sounds, we like to teach people how to drink good coffee.
I'm enjoying my lessons, I have to say, you know.
So we bring really high-end coffee beans. We roast them here, and coffee has a lot of flavors without having to add any artificial flavors to it.
Okay.
So we try to extract those flavors from the green beans once they get roasted.
Okay.
So a coffee shop is just a mean to be able to offer those.
So you're more of like a coffee connoisseur, because I notice in front of me I've got brown beans here, which is what I'm used to seeing. But over here at number 3, you've got some green beans. Which
Right.
What's the difference with those then?
So this is unroasted coffee. This is how it's shipped from the country of origin, and then
Okay.
here we roast them, and they turn into brown once they're roasted. This is what we don't do. We don't do commercial coffee.
Okay.
As you can see, it has a lot of mold, insect damage, and a bunch of other stuff. So we like to show our coffee.
Okay.
That's why we sell it whole bean.
And you roast everything here in house.
We
right?
roast everything in house.
Okay, great. So the reason we've got all these things laid out today is so we can learn a little bit about the different ways that coffee is brewed, right?
Correct.
All right. So let's start at station number 1 and walk us through what's going on here.
So here we have what is called an AirPress. It's a mix of a espresso and a French press. So you pretty much create pressure, put your coffee inside, and then you create pressure. And then as you push it down, it flushes the water out with the coffee.
Okay.
And it's a pretty cool method.
So it's like a super soaker for coffee then.
Yeah, it's
That just seems rather dangerous.
so coffee is a fruit.
Okay.
The fruit, it's peeled out, it's red from the outside, and usually discarded. Then you have 2 seeds inside.
So I've noticed it's quite lighter. It's a lot lighter than what my regular coffee would come out as.
We roast our coffees to a medium because that's where aroma and flavor peaks.
Okay. But like that has a look of tea about it as opposed to the darkness of a regular coffee.
Yeah. So depending upon what method you use, the extraction works a little bit different, but it still has all the caffeine and all the things that you need.
So each method you use to brew affects the flavor profile.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Pretty light.
It doesn't taste like coffee at all, does it? Like, not that. Doesn't taste like.
It's just a different method of brewing.
That's
We
sweet
used
stuff.
Flavor Wheel,
Uh-huh.
which was partially developed in Texas A&M. And those have all the profiles, just like wine. So you can try to figure out the different flavors and tastes of coffee.
Let's talk for a second about this pour, because this didn't come from coffee beans. This is the one from the fruit of the coffee, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what have we got here in this glass?
So we made a French press. Ratio fruit water is 17 to 1. So for every gram of fruit, we use 17 grams of water.
Okay.
We let it sit for about 4 minutes in the French press, and then we serve it. And it's a really fruity flavor.
All right. Oh, we have to take a shot, right?
Yep.
All right.
It smells different.
That smells so different.
Ooh, that's super fruity. It's like a tea.
That has nothing to do with coffee whatsoever. I like that. Like, I normally drink coffee with cream and sugar, and this is just pure black, and there's nothing in it, and it tastes wonderful. Okay, so what is this?
So
Hey,
this-
my mum used to have something like this when I was a kid. You put the little filter in it.
This is called,
But she sit on top of her mug.
Haito V60. It's very similar to the Chemex
What's it called again?
Haito. So we're gonna do a Haito V60. 25 grams of coffee and about 375 grams of water. So we're using a 15-to-1 ratio.
So we're making more coffees, or is it slightly less efficient?
We're making a little bit more coffee. The first one we did, it was 12 grams. Now we're doing 25. We still use the scale to weight.
Right.
So we have the perfect ratio.
Yeah.
So the first thing we do is we bloom the coffee.
So what does this process involve?
Put a little bit of water. You see how it bubbles?
Yeah.
The bubbling is the release of CO2. It's called blooming. And you can see how it bubbles. And it forms kind of a small mushroom shape.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
So we're letting all the coffee grains soaked up to make an even extraction.
Okay. It's so strange being able to unpack flavors out of coffee. Like normally coffee is just something I dump 2 hazelnut creamers in and go about my day with.
Yeah, usually coffee gets over roasted to introduce an ashy or burnt flavor. So no matter what kind of water you use, it's still going to pull the ashy flavors out. So most people think that's what coffee should taste like.
All right, so that's going to wrap it up for the coffee lessons because we're running short on time. You'll notice we didn't finish station 4. That is because Rodrigo has classes down here that you can come to and learn to make coffee yourself. So we wanted to leave that as a cliffhanger for you guys to make sure you come down and check out his stuff. All right, so we're going to get this wrapped up, but before we go, Rodrigo, where can the guys find you and follow you on social media?
Whatsthebuzzcoffee.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
All right, so we'll plug those links in the show notes after, and if you just want to go down and follow these guys online, that would be great. But in reality, come and follow them in real life because I have learned so much about coffee today. I had no idea that there were so many variables, and I will let you know that this is an absolutely excellent cup of coffee. So, Rodrigo, thanks again for having us.
Thank you.
And guys, we'll see you next week on Finally Friday.